The law. Genesis tells beginnings bright, creation, fall, and grace. The fathers of the faithful line in God's unfolding place. Exodus says, let my people go through sea and desert sand. God saves his people powerfully with a strong and mighty hand. Leviticus brings holy rules for worship, priests, and prayer. Numbers shows the wilderness and how God still was there. Deuteronomy says, remember well the covenant and way to love the Lord with all your heart and choose his truth each day. Oh, the Old Testament, sing it loud, sing it strong. Stories, laws, and prophecies all marching right along. From Genesis to Malachi, the message stays the same. God is holy, God is faithful. Blessed be his name. History books. Joshua leads the people in to claim the promised land. Judges shows the troubled days when few would take a stand. Ruth is sweet and full of hope with kindness shining through. A story of redemption and a family made new. 1 Samuel brings Saul and then young David with his sling. 2 Samuel shows King David as a shepherd, poet, king. 1 Kings builds the temple grand and splits the kingdom wide. 2 Kings shows judgment come when hearts turn full of pride. More history. 1 Chronicles retells the line of David and the throne. 2 Chronicles shows the kings and how the Lord was known. Ezra helps rebuild the house where people worship God. Nehemiah builds the wall though enemies work hard. Esther bravely saves her folk with courage, poise, and prayer. Though God's name is hidden in it, his providence is there. Oh, the Old Testament, sing it loud, sing it strong. Stories, laws, and prophecies all marching right along. From wandering tribes to royal lines, through triumph, tears, and flame. God is holy, God is faithful. Blessed be his name. Wisdom books. Job cries out in suffering deep and learns God's wisdom reigns. Songs give songs for every heart through joy and loss and pain. Proverbs teaches wisdom, truth, and how to choose what's right. Ecclesiastes says all fades unless God's in your sight. Song of Solomon sings of love so joyful, rich and true. A garden full of beauty, bright and promise fresh as dew. Major prophets. Isaiah saw the Holy One and spoke of coming peace. A promised king and suffering servant whose reign will never cease. Jeremiah warned with tears that judgment soon would fall. Lamentations mourned the ruined city, yet hope beyond it all. Ezekiel saw the glory blaze and dry bones rise anew. Daniel stood through lions, kings, and visions strange but true. Minor prophets. Hosea shows God's faithful love when people turn away. Joel says God will pour his spirit out one coming day. Amos cried for justice, truth, and worship that is real. Obadiah warns the proud that pride will never heal. Jonah runs and learns God's mercy reaches near and far. Micah says do justly, love mercy, and follow where you are. The final 12 continue. Nahum says Nineveh will fall, its cruelty brought low. Habakkuk asks the Lord hard things, yet trust him even so. Zephaniah warns of judgment, then sings of future grace. Haggai says build God's house first, give him the highest place. Zechariah fills the sky with visions, hope, and king. Malachi says turn your hearts back and wait for spring to sing. Oh, the Old Testament, from law to prophets cry. From Eden's garden mornings to visions in the sky. It tells of sin and sacrifice, of mercy, truth, and flame, preparing for the coming Christ. Blessed be God's name. 39 books, one faithful story. Sorrow, wisdom, struggle, glory. Read them, sing them, keep them near. God was speaking all those years.